What's going on, guys? Future Gohan SJ2 here, back again for another video. And okay, so ever since Dragon Ball Super episode 39, Kaio-Ken has yet again become relevant, and everyone's been talking about it. But Kaio-Ken has a lot of misconceptions about what the technique is and what the technique does exactly. For example, in the most recent episode of Dragon Ball Super, Goku goes not only Kaio-Ken, but he does it 10 times Kaio-Ken in his Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form. And I've seen videos from countless people saying that oh, he went Kaio-Ken times 10, which for those of you who don't know, which means is Goku is 10 times stronger. No. That's not how the Kaio-Ken works. And I'm going to try to hopefully be able to explain to some of you guys. Now, keep in mind, the Kaio-Ken hasn't really entirely been explained, so a lot of what I'm going to say in this video is mostly speculation. But here's where a lot of the confusion lies. A lot of the confusion lies in the Daizenshuu. The Daizenshuu has caused a lot of confusion because they've said, or they've shown their quote-unquote power levels for the Saiyan Saga. And Goku at a Kaio-Ken times 3 is at 24,000. Goku at a Kaio-Ken times 4 is 32,000, which leads people to believe that the Kaio-Ken multipliers, the times 2, times 3, times 4, multiplies Goku's base level. Which, that would make sense if you were to only think about it for 15 seconds. If you thought about it for any longer than that, it would kick in and you would be like, well, wait a minute. Then that means that Kaio-Ken, the first one, does absolutely nothing. Which we've seen in the show and in the manga that it does. It does make him stronger, and so does Kaio-Ken times 2. So they can't be nothing. So what's the multiplier? A lot of people are trying to say, oh, Toriyama just forgot, or oh, Toriyama just messed up, and so times 2 Kaio-Ken or regular Kaio-Ken, it just does nothing. Well, okay, but we see that's not true. We see Goku gets stronger from his transition from Kaio-Ken, from his transition to base, to Kaio-Ken times 2. There is an increase in power there. So, everyone's question, or what everyone's been struggling to figure out is, what is the multiplier? What is the exact way to be able to determine how strong Kaio-Ken makes Goku? And see, here's what everyone's problem is. Everyone hears the times 2, times 3, times 4, times 10, times 20, and automatically assume, oh, that's times Goku's power level. No. Listen to what Goku says. Kaio-Ken times 2. Kaio-Ken times 3. It's the effect of the Kaio-Ken that's being multiplied, not Goku's power. The Kaio-Ken increases Goku's power by a certain level that hasn't really been confirmed yet. And what the multipliers do is it increases the effect of the Kaio-Ken. Now, what is the multiplier? That hasn't been confirmed, it hasn't been released, it hasn't been anything. But me and Danny from Danny D's World, we've been doing some hypothesizing. And, okay, Goku's power level in the Saiyan arc, when he comes down and he is in front of Nappa, they scan his power level and they say he's over 8,000, quote-unquote over 8,000. The Daizenshuu has him at only 8,000. That in and of itself is contradictory of the show. The Scouter reads him at quote-unquote over 8,000, However, the Daizenshuu records him at a strictly solid 8,000. That in and of itself shows that the Daizenshuu isn't 100% accurate. So, me and Danny hypothesized that if it is over 8,000, we have only seen one instance of where Goku's power level, once he starts using the Kaio-Ken, is recorded, and that's when Bulma starts reading his power on the scouter that she got from Raditz. And Goku's power at Kaio-Ken times 3 is, she reads it and her scouter breaks at around 21,000, and it still continues to raise a little bit afterwards, but not too much longer. So it's his power level at Kaio-Ken times 3 is a little over 21,000. Again, the Daizenshuu records him at 24,000, but if we really tried to do that, it wouldn't make any mathematical sense later on, and I'll get onto that later, but let's go on to right now. So me and him hypothesized it would have to be somewhere around 8,500 if he's over 8,000, but we figured that the best number would be 8,750. And we hypothesized this because we've come up with our own multiplier for the Kaio-Ken that actually makes a lot of sense. With the Kaio-Ken, basically you're taking half of your power level, half of your base power level, and you're basically adding it back into you. So, for example, Kaio-Ken, just straight up Kaio-Ken, is Goku's power level times 1.5. Kaio-Ken times 2 would be Goku's base power level of 8,000 times 2. And then Kaio-Ken times 3 would be Goku's base power level times 2.5. So if we start recording what we've got so far, Kaio-Ken will bring him to about 13,125, which is significantly weaker than Vegeta, because Vegeta's most recorded power level is at max 18,000. So Goku gets some good hits in at Kaio-Ken base level, and then Vegeta shows him his max power level, which is 18,000. And so Goku tries to evade his attacks by going Kaio-Ken times 2, and me and Danny recorded that Kaio-Ken times 2 would be around 17,500, which is still weaker than Vegeta, which makes sense. And then we did Kaio-Ken times 3, which me and him have recorded it being 21,875, which makes sense because Bulma's scouter breaks when she reads his power level, and once he reaches 21,000, it breaks and he goes a little bit higher than that. But again, in the manga, he after the scouter breaks, it's only like 3 or 4 more panels before he starts attacking, so it couldn't have grown that much stronger. So 21,875 for Kaio-Ken times 3 makes sense. And then here we have it Kaio-Ken times 4, which is 26,250. And this makes a lot of sense because the Daizenshuu records him at quote-unquote around 32,000. Again, the Daizenshuu, as we've already tried to explain, can't be 100% accurate. But you also have to add in, because yes, there is Kaio-Ken times 4, but there's also, from what we've seen previously in the series, that charging a key attack boosts up your power level. For when, if you all remember, in the Raditz fight, when Piccolo and Goku are fighting him, they're around, 300, 400 power level, but then Piccolo starts to charge up his Makanko Sapo, or the special beam cannon, and he gets to around 1,300. He tripled his power level, but that's only because he was charging it for a long time. Goku does his Kamehameha, and again he's 300, 400 power level. That brings him up to about 600 or 700, almost doubling it. So the Kaio-Ken times 4 is at about, like I said, 26,250, and then Goku does the Kamehameha, starts charging up the Kamehameha. So perhaps it's around 32,000 if the Daizenshuu is correct at least there. But we do know that in that scene, when Goku is a Kaio-Ken times 4, he is over 26,550, somewhere around that specific area. And that's basically all we've calculated so far. But basically, I just wanted to make this video to tell people that the Kaio-Ken times 2, times 3, times 4 is not a multiplier of his base power in what you would think. It is not Goku's base power level times 4 and Kaio-Ken times 4. It is, again, this is just a hypothesis, but from what me and Danny have hypothesized, it actually makes sense. If it adds half of your power back into you, it adds up mathematically to what they're stating Vegeta's power level is, and to what Goku's power level should be at around Kaio-Ken times 3. Again, leave you guys comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about me and Danny's hypothesis. And please, if any of you guys see a lot of those other guys out there who are, you know, Kaio-Ken Goku in Super Saiyan Blue with Kaio-Ken times 10, that means he's 10 times stronger than he was before. No. Actually, if anything, he would be 5 times stronger than he was before if you add in 0.5 times back into him, half of his power. Again, that's just a hypothesis, nothing confirmed, but then again, nothing at all about the Kaio-Ken is confirmed, so this is all strictly hypothesis. But again, this makes far more sense if you try to apply it to the manga than what the Daizenshuu likes to say. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, leave your guys' comments down below. I'll link Danny's channel in the description below. If you guys have anything you want to know about Dragon Ball, be sure to ask him. Everyone likes to talk about Quaman, Rhyme Style, Geekdom, about how they're the quote-unquote Dows of Dragon Ball, about how they're the smartest people there is. They do not know Danny from Danny D's World. He literally knows everything about this show you could imagine. He critically thinks everything through to the absolute T, and he's the person that I trust more about Dragon Ball information than anything Geekdom or Rhyme Style or Quaman could ever make a video about. And it's unfortunate that he's not as big as I think he should be. So please, guys, feel free to go down in the description, click on his channel, subscribe, show him some love. And like I said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and y'all have a good day.